Welcome. In front of me I have the Motorola Moto G06 Power, and I'll be going over unboxing, quick look at the device, its specifications, and completely taking a crap on it because of the price to performance. So let's just get started with the actual unboxing. So we do have one seal to get through. There we go. Come on. Oh, there's one more. There we go. Cool. So inside we got the device itself. It gives us a couple information, and I mean like literally couple, that the device has going for it, which is a big battery. And well, that's about it. That's literally all it's got going for it. The other two are just bullshit. Nothingness. Like, ooh, AI powered camera. Yeah, it means F all to me. Portrait night vision. Quit your cup. Anyway, immerse yourself. Super large display, stereo speakers. These aren't features, these are opinionated statements, I would say. Large display. At what point is it large? I mean, let's be honest, we have larger displays. We have, for instance, Galaxy S Tab S11 Ultra. That has a 14-inch display for an Android. I don't see Samsung saying, ooh, ultra large display or something bullshit like that. No, it just tells you the size. Anyway, let's get in here. We also got a cable, Type-C to Type-C, and paperwork, and literally that's it. Now let's peel this garbage off. I should probably be peeling the entire phone in this case with that statement, but anyway. So, one nice thing here is the device comes already with a pre-applied case. So we have one here that is included for free. So I do want to give it props for that. It's nice to have a case that you don't need to worry about because it comes with a device. So, nice. Now what isn't nice is the piss poor screen right here. It's a LCD IPS display at 6.88 inches. That's the ultra immersive large bullshit display. It's the exact number for it is 6.88. So that's that. Immersive, I wouldn't say it is, as 720p resolution is just an absolute joke. We have 260 pixels per inch density. Cornell Gorilla Glass 3, match level 4, and at least we have 120 Hz refresh rate. At least that much. Okay. So with that being said, it's at least the display, it's mid as hell. Another thing that just annoys me for a device in 2025 September is the screen to body ratio. It's again piss poor. Just to take off the silicone case, you can see the bezels a little bit clearer. So we have massive chin, massive when we compare it to standards right now of 2025 and even 2023 or 4. These are still just enormous. We have not a hole punch camera, but just a dropped one. That's pretty bad. And yeah, the display is just bad. That's about the gist of it. Let's move on. One thing that it is nice here is the 7000 mAh battery, which at least that one was put here in a number, unlike the immersive display, or immerse yourself in a shitty resolution of a display, and 6.88 inches as a super large display. But what was actually large is the battery. That's why they put a number behind it. So 7000 is a pretty substantial size for basically a average size device, and that's because it's using a silicon carbon battery. So that's going to give us that superb like size. Now following that, you have massive battery and piss poor charging for it at 18 watts. So you're going to be charging that battery for a little bit longer than you might be used to. So that's not the best. Also, what isn't the best is the Base entry of this device, 64 gigabytes of storage with 4 gigabytes of RAM. Welcome to 2025, because nothing says 2025 like 4 freaking gigs of RAM and 64 storage. Wow, it's it's just pathetic. Okay, great, but we can spec it up to 256 8 gigabytes of RAM. Truth be told, the 8 gigs, that should be the base entry for any smartphone nowadays, I would say. Not the 4 that they offer. And also, where's the 6? Could have like given a 6 gigabyte RAM option. That would have also been a pretty good entry spot with 28 gigabytes. Not this bullshit of 64 and 4. It's just a cash grab right here. Motorola is not the company that you once knew, if you are old enough. This is just basically a husk of what it used to be. Now it's, if I'm correct, owned by HMD. Oh no, sorry, that was Nokia, the same thing. Anyway, so it's still just basically a husk of what it was, and here you can see it clearly with these piss poor offerings. This is just nothing but literally a cash grab, which follows again with the processor powering this device. It's a pathetic Helio G81 Ultra processor. Now don't get fooled by the name where it says Ultra. This piece of shit basically performs as a 5-year-old processor, like the Snapdragon. Actually, no, sorry, that still is way more performant. Basically, it's compared to the Snapdragon 680 or 665, which is a low-end processor from several years back. Not just current one, several years back. So the Ultra here means absolutely nothing. It's a shit processor. It's the benefits that it has over the old processor like the Snapdragon 680 and 665 is basically that it's a new processor. So it gets some benefits, like for instance support for higher RAM capacities or storages, for better camera like recording resolutions. But don't worry, none of that is here utilized, as once we get through the setup, actually I don't even need to get to the setup, let's just flip it over. We have a single camera setup right here, and that single camera setup is a 50 megapixel wide sensor that does a 1080p 30 frames. Again, absolute nothingness here. And then you get an 8 megapixel wide sensor that also does the same thing. So great, you went with a newer processor with a newer architecture. You don't use it here. That's basically as far as it goes. It's a newer architecture that isn't being utilized in any kind of way. Now, at the end of the video, I am going to give you a nice little comparison to a different device. About similar price, actually maybe a little bit more expensive, but believe me, when it comes down to this kind of pricing at the base entry, it's much better to spend just a little bit more and have something that is going to just completely blast this phone's cheek wide open. So one thing also I want to point out, this is Motorola, so it got another thing going for it, which is you can see pretty stock Android. Let me just make it brighter. There we go, that's max brightness, by the way. So you can see we have a pretty stock Android with almost no bloatware, apart from whatever that is, or this, or this, or this, or this. Okay, so it's not really stock Android anymore. That used to be the case, but we do have some crap here. But it's nothing like other devices where you have TikTok, Netflix, and other shit pre-installed on here. So as far as it goes, this could basically be considered a stock Android. So that's pretty decent. Also in terms of the design, it is, as you can see, as close to normal Android as possible. So, and like I said, it's pretty decent in this aspect. It's running Android 15, so you get almost the newest Android. Right now, Android 16 is being rolled out. So for instance, I literally got on my S25 a Android 16 update a couple days ago, like half a week ago about. So this is behind, but it will get update to 16 as well, and possibly even 17. And Taking a look at the build right here, we have plastic frame, this rubber-like surface, or maybe like eco leather surface. I don't even know what they're calling it. So it's plastic frame and silicone polymer back, or eco leather. So that's correct. Now it feels more like rubber, to be honest, rather than eco leather, but it is labeled as eco. So anyway, nothing really special right here. We have a fingerprint sensor on the power button, volume markers right above that. At the top we have a forgotten thing called a headphone jack. On our left side we got our SIM and SD tray. There we go. And at the bottom we have Type-C and our speaker along with microphone. And that's about it. The screen right here doesn't come with pre-applied screen protector. Great. And all of this will run you about 125 euros. Now, for 125 euros, this device is nothing really special. There are definitely better devices at this price range. I will say I can't really remember which ones, to be honest, as I do have one that I always kind of recommend at any kind of low end to like mid-range prices. So what I would be referring to is the CMF Phone 1, specifically 1, as this one will be closer to the price of this one, coming at about 150 euros. So about 20-25 euros more. If you get it secondhand, it actually might be cheaper than this. So that would be a device that I would recommend going over anything that is like low end like this one. The reason for that is that device that I just mentioned, the CMF Phone 1, will basically outperform this one in literally every category. Actually, no, maybe not literally. There is one category that it will be worse at, and that would be the battery size, as the CMF phone has 5000 milliamps instead of the 7 that we have right here. But that 5000 can be charged faster, like twice as fast. We have much faster processor. That's like hands down one of the best improvements you can have, along with the much better display compared to what we have right here. This is just a crappy LCD. CMF comes with a OLED display at 120 Hz refresh rate in nearly 1000 Hz pull rate, meaning that the display itself is much more responsive to your inputs. So here you can kind of see that the display is trying to catch up with my finger, and it's always kind of like lagging behind. Something that CMF doesn't have it, because it's like refreshing the input side of it nearly 10 times faster. So that gives it a nice, basically almost instantaneous kind of response rate. And because of the processor being much faster, the device actually can keep up with this. So that's one thing. Another one is that the base entry of this device, like I said, was piss poor for the price. And something that CMF phone actually improves on is it gives you 8 gigs of RAM at entry, I think it was, or 6. It's still more than this, and starts at 128 gigabytes of storage, not the 64. So you get basically a higher storage, and it can go to 256 with 8 gigs. So again, better storage specifications right here. And camera, again, better than this. Also 50 megapixels, but it can do 4K 60, or 4K 30 and 1080p up to 60. So again, improvement over this one. So this device, the only place where it's better is the battery size. And apparently the software, considering this screen didn't want to get bright for some stupid reason right now. So yeah, highly recommend checking that device over this one. This just seems like a crappy cash grab from a company that honestly haven't really innovated anything in recent timing. They're just constantly making the same garbage and charging way too much for how much this is worth. If a phone that was released over a year ago can outperform this one at the same price from a year ago, or more than a year ago, then you're doing something wrong. Let's be completely honest here. So I don't recommend this one. It's outdated, slow, and too expensive for what it offers. Now, with that out of the way, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to smash like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.